time, more like wait time. Damn, it hit November. Damn, now it's December. Flashback to May, yeah, the focus of the day. Start a new wave and get the mooches out the cave. Slaves, but we unshackled
Without
the chains.
stop
I know, it's just like a lot to say.
and not so much time to.
Exactly, because it's like, oh my gosh, 3 hours. Yeah, let me go. Like, gotta go to
Yeah.
work or school or whatever, like, is going on. So,
Yeah, and I must say though, before anyone listens to this, you
Mhm.
were the one. Like I told you before we started doing this,
yeah,
you were the one who initiated everything. That
pitch the idea.
pitched the idea.
Yeah, because I think you're curious. Like, I think you're interesting.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
not the only one who says that.
See, it's true.
Yeah, everybody. I've had like maybe 4 to 5 people who have said that to me
Really?
in the last month or so,
Mhm.
and I don't see it. I'm just
Yeah.
so
I mean, because we don't
weird.
see what other people see. We're never going to see that,
no,
like,
no.
in any way. So, if more than one person is saying it, just take it as truth.
Yeah, I guess I have to.
Yeah, it is true. I think I don't know. It's just like people like your age, they don't have conversation with substance. Like, it's just like, hey, heard that like music or song, or did you see that video, or you see the sneakers that's coming out, the Jordan. Like, it's just like it gets old,
Yeah,
and it's like.
very quickly.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, after that conversation, what's next? What are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
But with you, it's like deep stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like,
The
it's
dark.
like, yeah.
The
it's
dark stuff. The dark stuff. Yeah.
deep and dark. But it's like stuff it makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, yeah. Like, it really makes you think. Usually I don't have those type of conversations. Like, with other people, I can text
Mm-hmm.
and talk to them. With you, I have to stop. I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me think about that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't multitask because I really have to, like, dig deep to
And-
think of an answer, or to really think about that. Like, oh, wow, now that you put it that way. And I like it.
Yeah. No, and also the one thing that people who don't know us is that
Mhm.
we listen very well, which
Yeah.
is so important,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what not a lot of young people do nowadays. And since you said before, everything is so quickly
Mhm.
already, people don't take the time to just, slowly speak things
No.
through and understand each other in an adult manner. Because
Yeah.
you can be a certain age, but
Yeah.
you're not that person
Mm-hmm.
towards that maturity.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, You see people who are growing into some age and they don't
Mhm.
act their age.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And even if you don't act like it, just be mature enough to behave
Yes.
in a cohesive manner where
Mhm.
people don't look at you crazy.
I know.
But then again, you have to be yourself. But
Exactly. I think that's the line that they try to. It's like a tight wire,
Mhm.
tightrope.
Tightrope.
Yeah, it's like they are trying to balance between being themselves but then being mature. And sometimes for them, being themselves, they're just not mature yet.
No.
But it's not that you can't be.
yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, this is me. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you still have to be respectful. You still have to have integrity. Like, it's just things that
Mhm.
you can have and still be yourself.
Mhm.
And a lot of people want to impress their friends too.
Yeah.
It's like, am I cool? Or,
Mm.
are they going to accept me? They're going to clown me? Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, you're worried about the wrong things.
Yeah. Also.
Because
already.
I always go into a situation being myself.
Mhm.
So if I go in fake or trying to impress, I'm going to have to keep that up.
Yeah.
But if you're yourself, there's nothing to keep up. It's just you.
It's just you.
So it's like, just be yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest person to be, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, but that's also comes with knowing yourself very well, which is
Yeah,
very
that's true.
hard. Very
Because
hard to do.
I didn't know myself for a long time. I think I just got to know myself a couple years ago, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Through
Yeah.
through some personal experiences or just.
I would say so. I would
Oh.
say, like, when you go through relationships and things like that, you just learn, like, what you like, what you don't like, what you will tolerate, like, what you're not going to settle for. It's a lot that you learn, and you're like that. I feel like that's how I got to know myself, and also between relationships, I got to learn myself too.
Oh wow.
Like I realized, oh, I like this, or I never liked that, but I went along with it, you know, because the person I was dating liked it, so I pretend I did, but I really don't. Like, so it's more so like relationships taught me who I am.
Yeah. In a different category, like meaning like, you know, being not only, you know, because sexually it's just one small component of a whole relationship.
Oh, yeah.
There's more than that in a relationship.
Yeah.
So people think, oh, it's just sex, but it's such a low standard thing.
Because you can literally have sex with anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't have a connection with anyone.
Yeah.
You can't learn with anyone. You can't grow with anyone. So there's a lot that is not just sex.
No.
Like, congratulations, you've had sex. What
Yeah.
else?
What else there is to it?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. There's more to it. And I feel like if you know yourself, you pick a better partner too.
Oh yeah.
Because if you don't know yourself, you're going to go along with stuff or settle for things that if you knew yourself, you really wouldn't. And then the relationship will fail because it's like when your true colors come out, the person's like, who am I even dating?
Yeah.
And then now that causes something. But if you know yourself and you step up, this is me, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And if they take it, then that's good. If they leave it, then that's even better because you didn't waste your time.
Yeah, you don't waste it. And that's such a valuable thing nowadays, time.
Oh, my goodness.
And especially now with this pandemic that's going on.
Yes.
For
that's
sure.
so true.
Yeah. And just value the people that are still living yet. Because, you know, it's really hard out there.
Yeah,
you know?
and especially with the distance, like, I hope people will appreciate the time they spend with people after this because it's before they took it for granted. Oh, see you next week, next month. Oh, yeah, I'll check. But now it's like, if you can, just do it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if it's going to be 6 months or a year or whatever until you're with that person. And people are grieving now, like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to whatever, see you, be with you, whatever. So I feel like I hope people cherish time.
Yeah.
From this.
Yeah. And also, you know, just saying what you really feel about someone when you have the time to say it. You know,
that's
just,
true.
Just please do it. Because we had a good friend of ours who helps out my mom with some of the things that my dad goes through in terms of, you know, medical bills and stuff. And she was like visiting us for a week or so before this outbreak happened. It was happening already, but we saw her and we didn't know that she was that she was not going to be around us. And we saw her, we said our goodbyes, and the next week she passed away.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was due to the COVID-19.
Yeah.
So like you said, don't wait too long to say what you feel towards that person. And even if you have a dispute with them, just let that go quickly if you can. And if you have the maturity, as we said before, of not bringing insecurities towards whatever it is that you have a problem with.
Oh yeah.
be mature enough to discuss it and let it go and really come into grounds with someone, because you never know, they might not be here tomorrow.
That's true.
And then you just start regretting and
gosh,
all this great it's worse than breaking up with someone, I think.
Yeah, because it's like when you break up with someone, it's a decision you're making or they're making, whatever, and you're gonna go this way. They're still there. You can have the potential of probably getting back with them.
Yeah.
So I think it's easier, kind of,
if they're healthy.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to get caught up in something that's not healthy.
Yeah, no.
It's not good for you mentally.
No.
In any way. Physically, emotionally, it's just not good.
It's not good. No. Just no bueno. No, no bueno, man. No.
That is true.
So do you want to talk about how we met or something?
Sure.
Yeah. So
I think we probably have two different stories, versions of how we met. Well, no, I think it's pretty similar.
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that is similar about our story is that we met in a classroom where we took this English course. We don't know what it was. It was something
about women.
Something about women.
Women something.
Yeah, we have this camaraderie about women.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we both love women. So
yes, we do.
Yeah, in any sort of complicated way. you guys know what
Yeah.
what that is. So yeah, so we did, and actually when I saw you, I said, man, I need to talk to this girl, and I never do that with people. So there was a need. I said, man, there's a need. And it wasn't anything like, you know how men are when they see someone they're interested in.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get her number.
Like, gotta get with her.
No, I gotta get with her. and it's not like you're not a type of woman that you're not attractive to other men. It's just like the way you were, which is strange to say, because you know you're not a person that invites a certain type of intrusive, like, I don't know, like outcome of someone that goes and approaches you. You just inspire just a good vibe and very casual meetings. Does that make any sense? So I went up to you and I introduced myself, and you were not weird by it, which I'm kind of a little weird when I approach people, but you were so down to earth about it. And you said, yeah, I know you. What's your name? Oh, Jeff. I'm Jeff. Yeah. Can we meet in the library so we can talk? And it was like, if I knew you for years.
I know the first conversation was a great conversation. Because like you said, it was as if we knew each other for so long. But the reason why it wasn't strange to me was because I kind of felt the same way. You know, we had to go around and, say your name and all this stuff, raise your hand and things like that. And then, you know how we had that time to pause and we had to write, an answer to a question or whatever, and we had to get in groups or whatever. When you spoke, I'm like, he's smart. Like, I can.
Oh, man.
I'm like, yeah, he's smart. And the thing is, when I first saw you, I thought you were Jewish.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, because in one of my other classes, there's this Jewish boy, and I thought he was very interesting. Like, we were talking, I'm like, you're cool, So when I saw you, I'm like, oh, another one. Yeah. So I'm like, I was like, he's very smart, and then I like that you weren't, like, loud like everyone else, because I was the oldest in the class.
Yeah, at that time.
Yes.
At that time, I
was the oldest in the class, so everyone was kind of annoying to me. I feel like I was in high school, kind of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just going to do this and pass this class and just ignore these people or whatever. And you stood out. So I thought we were the same age. I'm like, we're the same age. You see, he's not with it. I'm not with it.
No.
So, and then we met and I'm like, wow, you're very mature. And then as we spoke more and more, I'm like, oh, wow, you're very mature for your age. And you're very interesting. That's
another key thing, it's just, which is hard to find nowadays, like you said before.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I remember also. So yeah, you also are very, very smart and, I don't know, a wonderful person, in and out, I've never been disappointed. And something that I will say though, I was 25 when you met me.
Yeah.
So I'm almost turning 30. Just 30. Yeah, that's something.
I will be 34 next month.
Yeah, I met you when you were 30?
Yeah.
30? Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Time has passed, and wow, it's just, and we have managed, we deviated ourselves for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it.
No.
It does not.
It doesn't.
No, and actually you came forth with an email from you, and then you said, man, I have to talk to you or something. So that was cool to receive your phone call after going through a lot.
It was like a gap period.
Yeah, which is good. I think some people need to have it.
Yeah. But it wasn't intentional. It was just time got lost and I was caught up in this and that, and then I'm like, it's been a while since I heard from Jeffrey. Yeah. And then even like my mom would be like, oh, what happened to Jeffrey? I'm like, I gotta hit him up.
Because you always tell me that your mom never remembers the people that you bring home.
Yeah, because I usually don't bring people home. Like, there's no reason for you to meet my parents at all.
Yeah, and that says a lot about you.
Because of your character. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, he's a good guy. If I felt like you weren't, you would know nothing about my personal life.
No.
Yeah.
No. Which I must tell you, we better be careful what we share here. So
I know.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing so.
No.
So deep, but
No,
you know,
yeah.
just enough so you guys can get a
Just
perspective.
enough.
Just enough to keep you guys entertained and just
Yeah, pretty
keep-
much.
yeah, and keep you listening. So,
Mhm.
so yeah. So yeah, that's how we met, and
Yes, we met in school.
yeah, and then
Mhm.
everything started off. I graduated first, and at that time too,
Yeah.
I had just come from Oklahoma,
Mhm.
Oklahoma State, so I went
Yes.
over there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I think those experiences matured me a lot more,
Mhm.
and I knew myself a little bit more over
Mhm.
there without the pressures
Yeah.
of anyone else being on top of me.
Yeah.
'Cause here, where I'm from in this, Copic, which
Mhm.
nobody knows after they go past Baldwin.
I'm telling you, when you told me, I'm like, I've never heard of
Yeah.
that town in my life.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not familiar with East
Yeah.
anyway. So.
So far east.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
where nobody wants to know
Yeah. So I
about.
was just like, it must be a small town.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It's just not a good town to be. I'm sorry to the Copic
You're
people,
not gonna,
but
like rep it, like yeah.
no, there's nothing to rep. It's
Oh.
just I'm gonna tell. It's just a place full of savages, mostly
Mhm.
Dominicans,
Okay.
and I don't mean to put down
Well, you.
my heritage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, you're Dominican, so I wouldn't get that from you anyway.
Yeah, but even in
I know
high
what
school,
you mean.
yeah, even in high school, I was just an oddball. I was just
Mhm.
out of place.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get out. I couldn't. Yeah, I just couldn't relate. It's just
Mhm.
it was weird. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
If I could go back,
Yeah.
I will go through the high school experience differently
Mhm.
and 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 not worry too much
Okay.
about what others
Mhm.
are doing.
Oh yes, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So you would like to do high school all over again?
No, it's more of a no than a yes. Yeah, especially now. Actually it's been 11 years. Since I graduated.
Mhm.
It was a couple of days.
Oh, how long has it been for me? I think
Maybe
16.
Wow.
I graduated in 2004.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yes,
I was in
that's a long
DR still.
Oh, really? What year did you come here?
2006. January 29th.
Okay.
It was a cold and rainy day.
I remember you told me that. Yes.
Yeah, I still remember. Yeah. It was
I think those experiences you don't really forget.
No,
Yeah, you
never.
don't forget those experiences.
American Airlines. The seat number was B65.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you were in the back?
Yeah, I was in the back. Yeah.
Oh man, by the toilet.
Yeah.
How was
Mm.
that?
Not very good.
I would think so.
No, especially when you're coming from where I come from.
Were you nervous? Did you have any expectations?
No. No,
Mm.
and that's putting it very very
Okay.
modestly. But
Okay.
no, and I wasn't surprised when I landed
Mhm.
and I saw the town where I was gonna live in,
Mhm.
'cause I said, "This is it."
Mhm.
Okay, well, and then when we got into the lifestyle or
Mhm.
whatever, I did not like it.
Oh,
It was just, I said,
I
wow.
wasn't a fan.
No, 'cause people hype it up a lot, once you're in the R and you've never been
Mhm,
here, they
mhm.
say this great things about here. But then when you see the reality of it, that's
Maybe
when
they were talking about New York, like Manhattan.
probably,
Yeah, 'cause
maybe.
that's what they show on TV.
Yeah, mostly. But I was
So,
always
mhm.
related to New York in some weird way because in DR, as I said before, I was odd because
Mhm.
I would watch his American TV shows,
Mhm. That's how you learned English?
Yeah, that's how I
I
did.
remember you said that, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
actually
think that
yeah,
I always think it's so interesting when people learn English by watching TV,
yeah.
and especially 'cause they say English is like one of the hardest languages with all the grammar and all this stuff.
Mhm.
So I always think it's so fascinating when someone's like, "Oh, I learned English by watching TV." Like that is so cool.
Yeah. It was shows like French Prince, as we all
Oh.
do. Martin.
So that's where because I feel like you can relate to our culture.
Yeah.
So it's from Fresh Prince?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Martin.
Martin, oh
Sister
yeah.
and sister.
Oh,
On and
yeah.
on too with
Mhm.
with this Kylie Pratt. That's her
Kyla
name.
Pratt?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's her name. Yeah.
Yeah.
She actually had a couple of kids now.
Oh, she did?
And the good-looking black dude, I don't remember his name. It was
From which show? From that same show?
yeah, from that same show.
Huh.
I don't think it was on and on. I don't know the name of it, but I think it's some. He's a look.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but that show.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like those type of shows.
Yeah, and they were all black and everything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I was leaning towards them. It was just and girlfriends too. Also.
Oh yeah, girlfriends.
Yeah, with Tracy Ellis Ross
Yes.
and all this great group of girls, which by the way has an unbelievable bad ending to it, because there never was an ending.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't see the ending, but then now you say it's because there wasn't really a finale.
No, and it was a
Okay.
bad way, by the way, to end the show.
I wonder if it was like contract issues, probably.
Maybe, because here's what I do when I'm on my free time. I just watch things on YouTube about the shows that were canceled.
Oh,
So
so you
you-
get like background information, like the juice.
The juicy
tea.
stuff. Yeah, the tea and I get everything out. Well, I have a water or a Coke while I'm watching the real facts of what happened. So that's how you know what happened in the show, and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So I got into it and I knew what was happening. It was producer stuff, and which I don't know, by the way, about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a different business. So
Yeah.
whatever happened, it was a good show. So
Yeah, it was. I used to watch it.
So yeah, that was my upbringing. You know, I was, and my dad was smart about it, 'cause he said, I want the best cable plan that is out there, so so I can have my kids hooked up with it.
Yeah.
And we were not spoiled like that. We were spoiled only. Because he worked a lot. He was spoiling himself, but what he didn't know that he was doing something very educational for us. And he still doesn't know it, by the way. It's just kind
Maybe you
of.
should tell him.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
I should. Yeah.
So he'll know. So he'll feel good. Like, okay, good.
Yeah.
It worked out.
So yeah, I could relate to you guys, and you always see it. I have
Yeah.
uncles who are the same thing. So yeah, and we had this conversation before.
Yes.
Yeah, me hating on black people. It's like, are you kidding me? It's just terrible. It's just
I know.
yeah. Which, by the way, now whatever has happened with Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, I couldn't watch that video. There was a something showing up on Instagram about the incident. I couldn't watch it. I just
Yeah.
somebody sent it to me, and I said, dude, I just don't want to.
I accidentally watched it. Like, I didn't mean to, and I did. And
Yeah.
my stomach was hurting.
Yeah. No, I
felt
couldn't.
sick.
I couldn't watch it. When I heard something weird, I said,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, I stopped watching the news, too, because it's like nothing good. Really,
No.
nowadays. So I'm selective. I'll go to BuzzFeed or I'll go here and there to look for stuff, but I try to be selective as to what I pick
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't just turn on the news and watch Evil.
Yeah, great cable so we could, learn. And I think I took advantage of it.
I think so because it seems like English is your first language, or like as if you were born here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked that up in class too. I'm like, when you told me you're Dominican, I'm like, do you speak Spanish?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
didn't get that right away.
Oh, you didn't?
No, especially like the way you write, and I didn't get that it was your second language, or that you learned it or it seemed like you learned it at the same time you learned Spanish and English together. It didn't seem like you learned English later, I should say.
Yeah, I've always been around the language since I was a kid. So
Maybe that's why.
yeah, so I accustomed my ear to the tones and the accents, which were not a lot because they were syndicated shows. You know, the ones that I just told you, but they had their own, French Prince, they all had their own, I don't know how you call that, dialect or...
Yeah,
So
I
they
would
had
say so.
their own slang, their own
Okay.
swag too.
Yeah, yeah,
their
yeah.
own swag. So it's not a very good, way
To learn?
to learn because you just can't do a joke from French Prince.
Oh,
yeah,
it wouldn't land.
It wouldn't land. It's like I will be the Jeffrey, the butler.
Oh, yes.
What is it? what is the nature of this
Mm-hmm.
nervous disorder, that kind of
Mhm,
thing.
mhm.
But you just can't go and respond like French Prince. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
this is for people who ain't got no rhythm. So
Oh yeah.
you know you know, that kind of slang
Yeah.
doesn't match. But
yeah, it is.
I did, unfortunately. So,
Mhm.
but then I tone it down.
Mhm.
So, you know, when you turn that business kind of voice, well,
Yeah.
I don't like that deal, you know, that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
So you have to tone it down.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Chappelle, you know, Dave Chappelle
Mhm.
says that a lot. So.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when you watched it,
Mhm.
when you watched those shows, you had on subtitles?
At the beginning, I did
Okay.
because I didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah, that's what I always think because like, you know, I'll watch you know, a vlog or something like that.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'll turn on the subtitles because I just can't hear it. It's low or
Mhm.
whatever. So then I think like, oh, I wonder if this is how it is when people are learning English, that, you know, they're speaking in like English and they don't know English, so they have to put on subtitles. So I'm like, I wonder if I could learn Spanish that way.
Yeah, you could if you put
You
a
think
lot
so?
of a lot of effort into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everything, if you put your mind into it, I think you can learn it.
I think that's true, especially because I learned sign language later in life.
Oh, okay.
I learned it when I was 30.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, I think that opened my mind up to the fact that, like, you don't have to be a certain age to learn. Like,
Mhm.
learning is forever.
Yeah.
And it's funny because an advisor told me when I
Mhm.
changed my major from math and science.
Yeah, you were a math girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hate math, but
Oh.
I know I needed math to go down the pre-med field. So I'm like, I might as well just do it. So instead of picking biology, that was my first major when I first went to college. This time I'm like, I'm going to switch it up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
you
picked
told me
math and
that.
science, this time. And I went to the advisor like, I want to switch my major to American Sign Language. And it's like she laughed at me almost like,
Wow.
okay. So yeah, I went to her and I told her I wanted to change it to American Sign Language. And then I could see the doubt in her face. And that made me nervous. Like, maybe this is a bad idea. I shouldn't.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I'm like, no, I want to do it. Like, a
Mhm.
lot of schools don't have American Sign Language as a major.
Mhm.
So I told her, and she's like, you might as well just stick with what you're doing because at your age, is learning a second language it's not going to work.
Wow.
So I'm like, what do you mean it's not going to work? She's like, you know, that's for kids. Like, you know, you're older.
Wow.
And I said, okay, but I want to do it. And it's like, for the first week or so, I wanted to prove her wrong. Like, she was in my mind every day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to show that lady. But then as I got into it, it was more about me.
Yeah.
I want to learn this. I want to know this, you know, like, it's just something I wanted to know. And my stepdad's niece is deaf
Yeah.
and she doesn't know the language.
Oh, wow.
So it's like people like that, like, I'm like, I want to know this second language. All the other languages are verbal. They speak. This one is like,
no.
some of them can't speak. They can't hear sound at all
Wow.
to speak.
Mm.
So I just thought it was very interesting. So in learning that language, the first day at ASL 1, I went into the classroom and she just started signing. And I'm like, oh no, I didn't sign up for this. What are you saying? But that's how we learn.
Yeah.
She's like, and she wrote on the chalkboard, I am not going to speak this entire semester. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But that's how I learned. None of the professors spoke. All 4, ASL 1 through 4, they didn't speak at all.
Wow.
And that's how I learned.
Yeah. Forcibly, you know, forcibly.
Oh, yeah. No choice. I had to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to learn the alphabet so I can be able to spell whatever I want because they're not going to speak. And I thought she was deaf.
Yeah.
So I had to go to office hours. And I'm like, how am I going to get across that I wanted to sign up for the ASL club and I wanted to go on the school trip and all this? I don't know how to do that. So I went in there I was like, I'm going to write it down.
Yeah.
And then she's like, hi. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa.
I know some people were like, oh my gosh, she's annoying. She never whatever. And they'll say things and she'll have her back turned like she was really deaf, but she wasn't.
She wasn't.
I was thinking like, did I say anything? Like it made me nervous. Like thinking back, like, was I talking about her? Oh my goodness. Yeah, but that learning ASL just taught me no matter what age I can learn.
Yeah. no matter
And
what.
I like to learn. I like
Yeah.
to read. I like to learn. I like to know things.
Yeah. About the reading though, you
You're
always.
a reader and a writer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read. I read. Yeah. You too.
Mhm.
You always give me suggestions, and we will always match things.
Mhm.
And now I think even more after I gave you the little
The
device.
Kindle.
Yeah, the device.
Yes. So he bought me a Kindle for my birthday. I was so surprised. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
man.
I was so surprised because that's the one thing that I really wanted.
Yeah. So you
Now
know,
I'm really gonna be a bookworm
yeah.
all day.
All day, every day.
Yeah, I read already,
Yeah, no,
but
I
I'll take
know.
a break to go on my phone and my laptop. But now it's like, I'm gonna finish this book.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And now it's a much newer version, like I told you before we
Yeah.
we started recording. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Because
Yeah.
I was looking at the 2018. I thought that was the last one.
No,
so I'm
they
like, oh, I'll get this.
they always keep updating it and
It's a
doing.
good thing because that's the one I was going to get myself.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I could help you out.
Yes, I'm
yeah.
so happy for it, for that gift. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. You're welcome. Always,
Mhm.
always in the help of another readers.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're in a club.
Yeah, it's a book club, and I think
Yeah.
people should read more.
Oh, for sure. I learned a lot through reading.
Yeah.
Even how to spell basic words that I thought I knew how to spell. I'm like, oh, that's how you spell it?
Yeah.
Simple things like that,
Mm-hmm.
just by reading.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a deep book. It could be like Harry Potter or, it doesn't have to be super deep for you to learn.
No.
Yeah, so
You have to start very low and
I think so too. You can't jump in because then you're going to be bored
yeah.
and then you're going to be turned off.
And then you will not understand what the hell they're saying. 'Cause
Yeah, you're going to feel like I'm reading a dictionary or an encyclopedia and I don't want to do this,
Yeah.
so I'm going to stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. So
Which is very discouraging for someone who
Yes,
starts to
exactly.
read.
Yeah.
So I started off with the kids' books.
yeah, you got to start small. And some people feel like it's boring to just sit there and read, but it's like you dive into someone else's world. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and you know what they're thinking once you read their words and what they're processing inside.
Yeah.
But many people don't like to sit in a room alone, quietly.
Yes. Oh
It-
my
especially
goodness. Some people are very uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, very.
I guess with their thoughts or just the silence.
Yeah, it drives them nuts.
I like it.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm I'm a loner, so
Yeah.
it's something that I don't know. It's just part of me, I guess, and
Yeah.
I think I accept it as as it was.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, when you see those things happening, you
Mhm.
kind of like, why am I not the same as other kids? But
Oh yeah, yeah. You notice your differences, like is a comparison to other people and things like
Yeah.
that.
yeah, but then you learn, like we said at the beginning of this, like you that's when the insecurities come.
Mhm.
And especially when you're growing into a certain age,
Mhm.
certain age group, and
Mhm.
when much of your individuality gets stripped by
Mhm.
just falling into things
Mhm.
that you're not very sure of,
Yeah.
and then you turn insecurities, emotional discrepancies into
Mhm.
the whole mix, and then it's not a good thing to do. It's always
No.
good to be yourself, like you said.
Yeah.
And I was always myself,
Mhm.
regardless of who I want as a friend,
Yeah.
and who I had in my life.
Mhm.
With with its normal risks,
Mhm,
because
yeah,
life
yeah.
is always about that. The risk,
Definitely.
I much rather have only one or two very good friends than to have
Yes.
like maybe 20 or 21.
Oh my goodness, no.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, nowadays.
And we talk about this during like some texting we did. Like
Mhm.
I mentioned the word to you, disposable. Everybody's so disposable nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is such a sad thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Because you I don't know, you don't build on relationships like that.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it may be something that you didn't like that they did, but
Mhm.
it could be the simplest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you say, man, did I just threw that person away just
Yeah.
because he just didn't wash the dishes or something? Well, that's when you live with someone
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
really
more
like.
personal. Mhm.
But in terms of friendships,
Mhm.
that's what it is,
Mhm.
simple things.
Yeah.
But it's also cultivating. And
For
also,
sure.
I wish, for relationships that I made, like especially with you, I
Mhm.
wish we could have even more time to live
Mhm.
so I can nurture
Yeah.
the relationship.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
all about nurturing.
Oh,
really,
for sure.
Really.
I feel like
Yeah.
people don't know that, or they're not willing to put in the time.
Yeah, yeah. And also, like we said before when we started, time is so precious.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And you have to be careful who you give it to.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, especially
It's very valuable.
Very valuable.
Yes.
Timing with someone, and it doesn't have to be like a very intimate person in terms of like, you know, whatever you do with them, but it's just like in terms of friendships, you know, like we have.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
We talk things through and we express ourselves, which is also very important.
Some people are afraid to be vulnerable too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get into, because there was this guy. Well, you know this guy, right? Harry Styles.
Yes.
He said he actually recorded a podcast with this Australian dude outside of his house in the yard, like we were.
Yeah.
And he said, friendship, it's only. How did he say it? He said it so beautifully and simple. He said, real true friendship. I know what he said. He said, real true friendship is achieved through vulnerability. So I said, wow, that was deep. And this kid is only 24 maybe, and he's already like a
he's very young. Well, not very, but he's younger.
But yeah, you know, very famous as well. Actually, I listened to his album too. Pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, pretty deep. So and
Right.
also, you know, to be vulnerable with somebody who's essentially your stranger, outside of the ones that you, for example, have had the opportunity to be in intimately. So, and we were talking about before we started recording, because you don't do that with a lot of people. You don't open up very much.
I'm very quiet and private, and I pretty much tell you what I want you to know, or allow you to know what I want you to know. Like, I'm in control of what you know about me,
which is
and how close you get to me too.
Yeah. Which is very important.
Yeah, because you just can't be friendly with everyone.
No.
I mean, I'll be respectful and helpful if and when I can, but just certain things is like, yeah, no. That's enough for you.
That's enough for you. I've had enough.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't need a lot of people that close.
No. It's and also it's hard to keep up with.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like a job almost. Like.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm like more so of an introvert.
Oh yeah.
So my me time is very important, and if I have to spend time, and it might sound like mean
or selfish too.
Yeah, selfish. Yeah. But I have to check up on 7 people today. Like, how are you doing? Are you okay? And that the thought makes me tired.
Yeah.
Just a thought. So I'm like, but I just want to relax. I just want to read, or I just want to lay here, or whatever. Like, I don't want to interact with anyone right now. So it's better that I don't have like 20 friends. Yeah. Because then it's like, it would be a lot. I'll be exhausted. Yeah. Like, I'll be very tired.
Yeah. No, I understand it. And also, if you have someone who is just like you have with me, the person that you're actually giving your time to has to understand.
Yes,
also
for sure.
Because it's not only giving them time to, you know, to talk. It's not only, but it's also that other person has to understand you and how you like to do things.
Yeah, they have to learn you. Pretty much.
And also give you your space. Because I'm also an introvert. I think you noticed that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so it will take months before I contact you. Yeah, which is not a good thing, especially if you're so close to that person.
Yeah, but I feel like if you understand the person, you won't take offense to it.
No.
Like, if we don't speak for a week, I won't take offense.
No,
because I don't think that you say, oh, I wonder how she's doing, but I'm not gonna ask her. I feel like you're probably taking your time. It could be a stressful week or day. Then that day turns into 2 days. 2 days turns into 3 days. Like, I don't take offense to it. Or sometimes I'll even reach out like, hey, how you doing? Like, you know, or how's your day or whatever. Because I know that you're an introvert.
Yeah.
And I just know that that's who you are and how you are. So I wouldn't take offense. Now, if somebody is extrovert. They're all over Instagram all day, every day. They're texting this one on the phone with that one, and then they call me their friend, and then they don't speak to me in like a week. Then I'm like, okay, like, you know, I'll think more. So, like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, what's going on?
Versus someone who probably didn't pick up their phone for hours because they're reading or listening to music or out in nature or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I know that introverts, they cherish that time.
Oh, yeah.
Their time alone.
Yeah. Alone, yeah.
Yeah.
Utterly alone.
Yeah.
I do. And also to exercise, I do take time to myself. So so I'm always away from the phone, reading a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I also don't only read books. I also read periodicals and also you know, you can sign on Kindle too about, you know, like articles from the from the New York Times.
Yeah, I have a subscription with them actually.
Oh,
New
that's
York
cool.
Times, yeah.
That's cool. So I do that too.
Yeah.
I read that. So I'm always reading something.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day I'm reading something. If it's not, because I'm reading 4 books right now, which is not good.
An easy task.
But I just, like, I'll read a book, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a break from this.
Yeah.
And then I'll be browsing Kindle or something, and then, or like Goodreads, and then I'm like, oh, this sounds good, and I'll read the title. I'm like, I'm going to download the sample. Then I like the sample, so I order the book, and now I'm reading 2 books, and then I do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so I had to stop myself. But the thing is, 2 of the books are more so like, one of them is like a devotional, and the other one is like poems. So it's like not really like chapters where I have to read in order. So it's not really too distracting. But then the other 2 books are like books that sometimes I have to read the previous chapter because I forgot where I left off because I was reading another book.
Oh, okay.
So, but I just love reading that much.
I know
Yeah.
you do. I know. I take time with the reading I do, but I also get things done. Once I start something, I just finish it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope I can share some books I
know.
have. So yeah, man. But I don't know what kind of questions you have.
So I have these questions. Like, when I knew we were going to do this podcast, I'm like, let me get some questions to ask you.
Oh man, here it comes.
It's not too deep. It's just, you know. So the first one is, what inspires you the most?
Wow, that's a good one. What inspires me is just what that's a good one. It just, I don't know if it's just living a good I don't know if that's answering your question real good, but just by living a life of great example and seeing others doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And as long as you're authentic while doing it, it could be anything. Think you're on my good side of inspiration. And it could, so it could be anyone, anything. It's such a bad answer for such a real good question. So I don't know. So if you do it authentically, respect others and live an honest life, not hurting anyone, and just going after what you really love without having to think so much about the confinements of normal life. Just do what you gotta do. But do it with some decency.
Yeah.
Don't F people off while doing it. Don't try to F people just trying to get somewhere. Just try to be nice.
Yeah.
Try to be nice and be generous, and that will get you even further more in life than just being, because it's easy to be mean.
It's true.
Yeah, and it's very hard to be nice. Try. You will see. That, I don't know if I answer it very well. I don't know.
I think, what inspires you, I feel like it's like the footprint you leave.
Yeah. That's more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my other question is, what impression do you think you give when you first meet someone?
I think I give out the impression of think I give out a well filled with just interesting thoughts that need to be out, I think, or I don't know, I feel like to others I'm openly a good person, I think, and they feel comfortable talking to me, which can be very annoying if you really have the wrong person saying some weird things.
Like you just want them to go away.
Yeah, and you don't look, because I had to check one person where I work, where he was just, I don't know, I want to make it short, but because it's very long what he does, but he will ask me the most random things at the wrong times, which required you to answer them in a very cohesive cadence, so that way you can get your thoughts really, really well put together.
Yeah.
So you're not you're not confronting yourself by talking shit. So, and I had to tell him straight up, dude, this is not the time to make this
That's good that you're honest about it, because some people would just sit there and suffer.
Yeah, especially like when I'm in the middle of putting a box in on a pallet. I mean, dude, I mean that's not cool to do.
Bad timing.
Yeah. So yeah, that.
I picked that question because people used to, like, even in high school, it would be like, I thought you were mean. They always say that to me. I'm like, why? I just have that face. Like, I'm supposed to walk around with a smile on my face all day? Like, I understand. So they usually think that I'm mean or don't want to be bothered or impatient.
No.
And although I am kind of impatient sometimes, I feel like I'm very patient, especially with someone new. Yeah. Because I'm getting to know them, so I'm giving them time. Like, some people might be nervous or somebody might need help with something, and I'm always willing to help. So, but people usually say they think I'm mean.
No, I didn't get that vibe when I first met you. No,
well, that's good.
Yeah, no,
because I hate that people think that.
Yeah, I felt this calmness to you. That's why
I think because of also where we met too.
Yeah.
Like, it was in a classroom, so it was like easier, I guess, for me to be that way.
Yeah, but I would have done the same thing even if we were waiting for a bus on a stop. Yeah, I would have approached you, and it would have been the same. Yeah, because also in college you can also have that bad impression on other people too. Yes. Just because you're a student in the same university doesn't mean that you don't have your weirdness to you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because there are even at Nassau and even at this bigger university that I went to, I didn't want to meet certain people, which is very kind of a good way to put it, and it saves you also a lot of time too. Yeah. Because you could be, I don't know, listening to your book while you wait for the bus, or listen to a good song just to get you off something bad that just happened in the classroom, or you got a bad grade on a test. Yeah. So you just want to listen to, I don't know, like,
it's like you want to just be in your own space, your own world. Yeah. For a little bit.
While impatiently waiting for this bus that you hate, especially in the cold.
Like, bad enough I gotta wait, and then.
Yeah, and then you show up.
Now this.
Yeah, but you try to put on a good face always, which is hard to do if you're like us, because it's not always fun to do, especially when you're not feeling it. It's like
it's like I don't feel like faking it.
No.
I'm not in that mood.
Yeah, you're not. That's what one person said to me, like when I was getting help for this head that I have, and she said, "You don't smile a lot, Jeff." I said, "No, I don't. You know, and if I don't feel like laughing, I don't." Yeah. You know.
I think it's funny that is more out of the ordinary. They expect you to smile and laugh all the time, but I don't think you're not being authentic if you're really doing that. Yeah. Some people just do it so they won't be awkward, but why is it awkward, or why am I odd if everyone is laughing, I'm not? Why do I have to find that funny too? I don't, and that's okay.
And that's what I run into where I work. You have to laugh, and I don't, and I can disguise it even more with this mask. With this mask, this mask. It's a lot better because I'm not actually expressing through my
Yeah.
facial whatever I'm feeling at the moment. So that's a very good way to hide it. So, but it's forceful. You know, at where I work, and it's just filled with weird personalities and people that you wouldn't. I don't care if they listen to this, but with they know who they are.
Yeah.
I don't need to mention their names, but it's full of weird of just people you wouldn't want to be friends with. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, and I can do without also.
And
it's not saying that I'm not nice to them.
Yeah.
Because I have to be, because imagine not saying hi to them. You work with them, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah, for 40 hours a week. And if you're not willing to even say hi, man, you're in the wrong place, because
Yeah, and I feel like it's
it is what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't really hurt to say hello, good morning, whatever. But then they just need to know that's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Don't ask me who I went out with.
Yeah, like we don't have a friendship, or we're just we just happen to be here at the same time every day, every week.
Yeah,
that's it. I didn't choose you.
Yeah,
there's this girl that I worked with. It was another girl, and she was upset because she didn't want to be her friend.
Oh.
And she said, I didn't come here to be friends, or I don't want to be your friend. I'm here to work. And the girl got so offended, and I'm like, but that's not a lie. When you signed up for this job, you didn't say, I'm going to make friends. You signed up for the money.
Yeah.
Or to expand your education. Like, okay, I have to do this for a school, or I just want to learn more, or I'm interested in this career, or whatever reason. But 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, you don't sign up for the job to make friends. That's not where you make friends.
No.
So I don't know why she took offense to it. It was so weird.
Yeah, it's not, and it's also a place where you fulfill the job's description.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
That's what you always do, and that should be
duties and
go home.
I think making friends is a bonus, but it's not mandatory.
No.
It's not a guarantee.
And it's not something that you look forward to. Especially when you know them for a month already. Yeah. And when you are like us, and I'm not saying that we are the most special people, but when you're like us, we spend so much time with ourselves that we can catch on things very quickly from people. So we know what they mean when they're trying to do something or trying to gain our attention.
Yeah.
Because we all know if they're genuine or authentic.
Yeah, you can kind of sense it. Like, I observe a lot.
I know you do.
Yes. I sit back and I watch and I look, and I could just, out of observation, I'm like, I don't think I want to really talk to that person.
No. And then there's nothing in there.
Yeah, like, I don't think I'm going to gain anything. I think my energy is going to be sucked out of me if I'm friends with that person, or I just feel like it's not going to be a good outcome.
No.
So it's okay. I'll pass.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. I truly relate to that. So that's why I told you I don't have so many friends. So
yeah, it's not a bad thing.
No.
It's quality over quantity.
Good, yeah.
That applies to friendship so much.
Yeah, quality.
Yeah.
Quality, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know that as a teen.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it's like,
the more you have, the better it will be.
If I have 50 friends, and that's great. Now, that gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't want to be friends with 50 people.
No.
And then that's like 50 different personalities, too.
Yeah.
It's like a job.
Oh, man.
It's an entire job.
Just by you saying it, I'm like, wow, that's
can you
a lot of
imagine?
work.
And then someone who's like the opposite of me. And then, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. That's why it wouldn't work with me, supervising like 50 people in a
supervising
in a factory level thing. No, I wouldn't do it.
So many, and it's like you gotta try to balance and juggle all of that's a lot. Like my supervisor, my goodness, I don't know how she doesn't break down every day, because there's so many different personalities she has to deal with, and then it's like, but then she has to try to manage to make everyone happy. And sometimes I look at her like, you're good, because I would be like, you know what, I do not want to do this anymore. I do not want to be a supervisor. This is too much. These people are too emotional. I'm done.
Yeah,
But
you're very quick to it. Yeah, I know.
because it's taking too much from me, and I can't deal with that.
No, I know.
Because I'm gonna be left empty.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I still have to go home.
Yeah, and fill yourself up a little
Yeah.
more. And it's so bad that it's only 24 hours in a day,
Yeah,
and you only spend 8 hours, but then the next 16, it's just like, wow.
I know. But those 8 hours, it feels like more.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels like 12.
Yeah, 12, sometimes 6,
And then
14.
you have to commute. Well, your commute is short. You have a good commute.
Yeah, very good commute. It's 3 minutes.
Yeah, see?
3 minutes.
It's great.
Yeah, for that only reason, but
Yeah.
not for the other stuff.
But I like the fact that my commute, it gives me time to wind down.
Mm-hmm.
So when I come home, I'm not like fresh off of work, exhausted or upset. I get to come home and I already like spoke to somebody about it, or I listened to a podcast or some music.
Yeah.
So when I come home, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just relax for the rest of the night or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the pro of my commute,
Yeah.
that I don't like just come right into the house stressed.
So, no, I don't want to say that. No, I don't. I don't think you're gonna undress or something before you come home. No, I don't.
Undress before I come home?
No.
No, I like to wait until after I'm home.
Oh, okay, cool. You know, but I don't know. It's just I don't know. My job is, especially I don't know. No, I don't like my job.
I know.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Something.
A couple of podcasts in your episodes in, you're gonna hear.
No.
I'm gonna be like, so how's the new job?
Oh no! As long as I started off with you, that's good.
Yeah.
But I have a couple of people too at work.
Mm-hmm.
There's one kid. I think I will mention his name. I think it's worth mentioning him because he has a podcast too.
Oh, nice.
Where he's interviewing a lot of Long Island artists.
Oh, nice.
His name is Alan.
Mm-hmm.
He has a YouTube channel. It's LI on the Rise.
Okay.
So I'll have him on.
Ooh,
He's
nice.
he's super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
You could see him on YouTube if you like, and his episodes on YouTube are not
Mm-hmm.
that long.
Okay.
So it's like 30 minutes.
Maybe you'll be on one of the episodes.
No. I said to him, "Hey man, we should do an episode." And he said, "Yeah, I'm all up for it. I'm willing to have a conversation with you." And I said, "Wow, cool." And that's because of who I am, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known him for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's one of those that I really would like to talk to and see how he is, and maybe record another one with another person.
Yeah.
He's a good one too. He's like, he produces artists. I don't know. I think when we get to, talk to one another through this, because my equipment is just very casual. Well, you saw it now. You're seeing it, so
it's compact. I like it.
yeah, I can travel whatever you want.
Oh
so,
yeah.
So if you want to pop something out, I'm ready. I'm just
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with some episode ideas.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'll come up with something.
Yeah.
So then.
And you have any more questions? No.
Let me see.
Do you have?
What should be required reading for every human?
Wow, that's a good one. Wow, you have good questions.
I tried. I'm like, I could ask him basic questions like, what's his favorite color?
Yeah, no, that's very basic. Wow. Let me search on my. Let me see on my Kindle. I have it here, but I think. Let me see. Which one is a good book to read? I think there's a bunch of them that I would like to read and get into. Well, I think you should read Ryan Holiday. Ego is the Enemy.
Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday.
By Ryan Holiday. Okay. Also, well, all of his books, and also Obstacle is the Way. So whomever is listening to this, just go on YouTube and always, and look him up. He's very good. He's one of these stoic, philosophers who practices stoicism.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how you say it. Stoicism.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know.
Yeah, it's close to it. So yeah, he's very. It's a very practical thing to do to read him and to
Yeah.
to know him. And also there's another one, Fight Club by Charles.
I heard of that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fight Club.
It was on one of those 30 books to read before whatever, like in
Yeah.
your lifetime type of. Yeah, that's where I saw that one.
Yeah,
I have one to add to the list if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
The Four Agreements.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's a great read. I think everyone in their life should read that book. It's a short read. You can read it in a day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a great book.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like it just gives you the basics on how to be a good human.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just like, if you're going to read a book and you're not 12, even a 12-year-old can read it. But I mean, like, if you're an adult and you're like, you know what, I want to try to read something or like self-help-ish type of book, I think that's a great read.
Yeah.
It's a book that I'm going to read over and over and over again. I'll probably read it like once a year, twice a year.
Oh, okay.
It's very good.
It's like your main thing to go to every time you feel out of whack.
Yeah. And like if like someone's like just recommend one book, it's always that. The second one would be The Cow in the Parking Lot.
Oh.
I read it in college. It's a way to manage anger.
Oh, okay.
But you don't have to necessarily be an angry person. But my professor recommended it. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's extra credit. I'll just do it. I like to read. And that's another book that I would just read every year.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good read. It's funny too.
Okay.
But it's a good read.
Oh, cool. The name of the author was Chuck Palahniuk.
For which book?
Oh, Fight Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And those who have watched the film, I think you should read the book even if you saw the film. It's directed by David Fincher. Actually, he's one of my favorites too. David Fincher. He has knowingly, Brad Pitt, Edward Norton. Yeah, good actors in it, but it's based on that book. So that's a good read too.
Yeah.
And another one, very obscure, Girl Interrupted by Susanna Kazem.
Is there a movie to that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with
I think I heard the movie. Okay.
Yeah, the movie version with Angelina Jolie and Winona
So which one
Ryder.
do you think the book is better than the movie? People usually say that, don't they?
Yeah, they always say that.
The book is better than the movie.
But I don't think a film is just a film.
I think they cram it into that hour and 45 minutes or whatever. The book, I think they can stretch it out more, like it's more detail.
But due to the bad realities of the film world, you have to condense the amount of time that you put out there.
So I think that's why a lot of people is like, read the book.
Yeah.
You get more out of it, I think.
For sure. And that's why I couldn't imagine what the screenwriter for the Fight Club movie went through, because he mentioned, because I heard his podcast with Joe Rogan, the author of it. He went through a lot, not by writing it because he wrote it. He was feeling that way, but the screenwriter was having trouble, like you always do with every piece of literature.
Yeah.
But it was a tough book to script, because it's not easy taking the words of another person and transforming it into a movie. I know.
I read Gone Girl, and then I was so excited to see the movie, and I was so disappointed. I'm like, there's a few characters that they cut out and scenes and different things. And I'm like, this is why they say the book is better.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, and it's directed by the same director too.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That's a fun fact. Yeah. So, but he's a good director.
Yeah.
I like. That's one of my favorites. He has a good series on Netflix.
Yeah.
Mindhunter.
Oh yes, I saw one episode. I gotta get back into it because I actually liked it.
No, it's very good. Jonathan Ross is the main lead.
Yeah.
He's very smart in the role.
Yes, usually I have to, 1 or 2 episodes before I can really decide if I like something. And the first episode, I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, actually, the show is based on this book that I don't remember the author's name from, but it's a good read into the behavioral criminology of some of the suspects that they arrest.
Yeah.
So anyone who likes psychological and behavioral disconstructive drama can look into that show and be mesmerized, because Jonathan Ross plays this this agent in this behavioral unit, because that's what it's called in the in Quantico in Virginia. It takes place in the 70s, and where a lot of things are coming up, but you won't regret getting into it, because I was so into it that I went through the first season eager for more. It was just like so interesting, and he plays it as this intelligent person who is actually intrigued by the psychoanalysis of a psycho, basically, because to kill someone is just,
I can't even imagine.
The morality to it, and it's actually based on the, like I said, the author, and it explains how someone ends up killing someone, which is kind of very dark.
Oh my goodness. There's some shows I was watching on Netflix. I think it's called I Am a Killer or something like that. And it's just like the way they speak about it was like, I went to the store and I bought a soda. It's just so casual.
Very casual.
I'm like interested in it because like when I go back to school, I want to major or minor in psychology. I just always thought it was very interesting and fascinating. The mind. It's like controlling your whole body.
Your whole body.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. But it's more complex, because in the second season, he's actually analyzing. Well, the actors are portraying the gang of Charles Manson, but there's one of the maybe 3 episodes before season 2 ends, and he's actually interviewing the lead of the gang, and he says, "Well, you had a very good moral compass before you committed these murders." So he questions the guy who plays the part. Of course, he says, "I'm trying to get to why you did it, because you had a very good upbringing." And that was interesting, and you couldn't get an answer for it. It was just, and then the main dude, Charles Manson, he read this really good, he read this great book, which I read, by the way, Dale Carnegie, How to Influence People and Make Friends or Win Friends. And he read that, and I said, I don't know how I should feel about this. You're kind of scared, like, I hope I don't influence the wrong people.
I know.
So if he read that,
a book, I think it's called Talking to Strangers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's on my, list. One of the books that I'm going to download to the Kindle.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's on that list.
Just so you can, pop it in and just start reading.
Just dive right in.
Yeah. Please do. Take advantage of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be reading.
Yeah, that's what also, this guy, Jordan Peterson, the clinical psychologist?
Yes.
Yeah, he mentioned that about the Kindle. It's a new, in order to educate yourself even more after college, the Kindle will be the way to do it.
Yeah. I had it a long time ago when it first came out, when you can like go on the internet and do all this stuff, and I used it as a tablet.
Yeah.
I didn't use it as, I didn't take advantage, but now it's like I'm going to, because I have so many books. I have about 25 books. And I'm like, I don't have room. Like, I don't have a library in here. So, and I have a list with about 21 books that I want. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to buy another book until I get my Kindle. Yeah. Because it's like, I'm reading 4 books right now. And, so.
And that's why I gave it to you, because due to what we were going through, sometimes you just can't spend the money on things that you pleasure of buying.
Yeah.
You just have to buy the things, especially now, necessities and things that you will want. But and this is such a hard thing, what I'm about to say. I don't give a lot of gifts to people. So
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So, and since I've received some certain money rents.
When you hit the lottery, you mean? I'm just joking.
Well, no, it's a modest monetary gain. So so if I have some few dollars,
and I think that's why I appreciate it a lot too, because I mean, it's a gift. Even if you were a millionaire, I would appreciate it the same.
Oh yeah.
But it's because I knew, like, for example, when you got the job at first, you were paying back school loans and you had goals and things like that. So I know that you don't just have money floating around. So that's why I really appreciate it too, because it's like, you're not a millionaire and you didn't have to. And I really do appreciate it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm very, I'm very good with money, I think. Because I told you the amount that I paid back, and you said...
Yes, I know. I will be paying back right now.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't be done. I'm not great with money, which is sad. I'm better than I was before, but I'm not where I would like to be.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I let my mental health steer me away from my goal, and I'm like, you know what? I'm upset or I'm feeling down. I'm going to buy. Then I'll buy, and I'm like, I don't need any of this.
No.
And the credit card company is calling me, like, you know, like that. So, but now I feel like I'm getting better with managing money, but yeah.
The things also that I bought before, they were things that I needed.
Yeah.
And then my mom would say, do you really need this stuff? Like this stuff that I'm recording this thing on. And I said, well, I don't know. This is important. This thing that
I would say so.
Yeah, because like thanks to you, I was very influenced by buying something, and you said let's record interviews, and then I said, well, I'll look into it. Since I have the money to spare, like you said, this will be like a meaningful purchase. So it was a good buy, I guess. You know?
think because we're like kind of like podcast junkies too.
Yeah, I think
like, I'm just very interested in it. Like some people don't understand it. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, and also like you were saying, like to it is your time to break away from the normalities of having a job. So when you listen to a few people, or it could be any podcast with so many people and it's very intriguing and intelligent, then you feel like you're like actually feeding your mind with really good thoughts and not with the same things that you were feeling before.
Exactly. It's like your mind, you like go into another world almost.
Yeah.
And away from yours.
Yeah.
Or someone, it might be funny, or it might be interesting, or it might be tips and tricks, or it might be history of something. Like you learn something. It's just, it's so many thousands of podcasts that you could listen to.
Yeah.
And I feel like
which you do listen to.
Yeah, I have a variety of podcasts that I listen to. But it's like you always hear something new. Or interesting.
You always tell me that.
Or like a quote or just something. It could be something small that I'm like open my mind to something that I would never think of. So
yeah.
It's just like reading.
Yeah, just like reading. Also, the same psychologist, Jordan Peterson, he said like the spoken word is becoming just as powerful as the written word.
Yes.
Which in the times that we're living in, it's such a wonderful thing to experience and also listen to, because that's what we do. We listen to one another and also have the time and the willingness of just listening to other people's conversations. You know?
I would say that's one of the few senses that you can't really turn off.
No.
You can close your eyes if you don't want to see something. You don't have to taste something if you don't want, but listening, it's all the time. When you're sleeping, your brain is picking up, is like all the time. So when I do like take time to say, okay, I'm going to actively listen to something, I want it to be something good.
Yeah.
Because I'm not controlling the noise, the cars honking, people yelling, speaking, whatever. Like, you don't get to control that.
No.
So when it's time for me to say, okay, I want to listen to something, it has to be something that I want to listen to and something that I'm going to get something from it.
Yeah. And that also applies with friendships also.
Oh, yeah, conversations.
Yes. And the way to know somebody, too, is to have a conversation, you know? Even if you don't feel like having one. But you just, okay, let me listen to you for 5 minutes. I'll give you 5. But they don't know that. You just think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I got to get out of here. Or it's getting weird. So, yeah. Yeah, I hope I answered your questions.
You did.
Pretty well. So you don't have any more, or?
No.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? It's very interesting to talk to you about.
I know. I think this was good.
Yeah, and we've been on for an hour.
You're gonna have some editing to do.
Yeah, an hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah, you're gonna have some editing to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was natural because we speak about these things all the time.
Yeah,
Our
we do.
conversations is like a wave. It just flows. It just
Flows.
up and down and up and down. You don't know where it's gonna go.
Where we'll pick up after
Yeah,
it's done.
It never feels forced or anything. It's just always just a smooth conversation.
Yeah, with someone that you really enjoy spending time with.
Exactly.
Which you said before, it's really hard to find to
Yeah.
spend time with someone.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It was good though.
Yeah, I know.
I'm happy that you told me about that you were doing this.
Yeah, just like I've told you, this is the third time while we're recording this. Thanks to
No
you.
one's counting.
Yeah. No, but thanks to you, I decided to buy these things,
Yeah.
and it was worth buying it. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping for more people to jump on it.
I think this would be good.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I hope to have you as a recurring
Of course, I told you.
recurring guest.
Yeah,
of
I'm gonna come through with some episode topics.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And
I feel like this was like we were just testing the waters
oh yeah,
type of episode.
yeah.
Just coming on, just free. It's like a freestyle.
Freestyle it.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's hope we can do this again.
For sure.
Yeah.
We got to make it happen.
For sure. You want to
Yeah.
end it now? 'Cause you got a
Oh yeah.
got a meeting
I have
at
a
8?
Zoom meeting. How fun. But
Yeah.
but this was fun, and we will do this again.
Yeah, we will.
Yes,
will.
I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope
The
you tune in
chills.
for more.
I'm spitting
I hope
out my
so
soul,
too.
trying to
Yeah.
show 'em my
Cool.
will. I ain't
See ya.
another
See ya.
artist just looking for deals. I care about the people and I really got skills. Talking that cold, yeah, it's cold when the chills. When the chill. 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 When the